This is the Girls of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. Welcome. Today we're talking about the critical aspects of the principle of 3 girls in love. I'm going to go into detail about it, but if you have any more questions, feel free to comment down below and I will answer them. First, we're going to talk about the number 3. Why is this number so important? Why is it a magic number when it comes to this philosophy? It is because in the past men have indiscriminately not been responsible with who and how many they sleep with. That's a huge problem and has ramifications for society, for families, for women and children everywhere. This is a practice that needs to be done away with as soon as possible. 3 Girls in Love will actually help to bring a stop to that practice of men sleeping around and having no consequences to that. The reason why it's 3 specifically is because if it's only one-on-one monogamy, it creates a lot of problems, which is why we have the society we have today. Today's society is a combination of men massively sleeping around with whoever they want to because they've got confidence and experience, and that is what attracts women to them. And then on the other side, having men commit to women and not really being rewarded for actually committing and making families work in the long run. The reason why it's not 2 is because when the man focuses his attention on one of the women, the other woman will be left behind. She will not be the focus of his attention or anyone else's attention. When you've got 3 girls in love, the man can focus his affection on one of the women, and yet the other 2 women will not have been left behind because they have each other. This is a crucial aspect to the philosophy because the goal here is to help women to feel emotionally fulfilled. This is the whole key about this entire matter. That's why we're even practicing 3 Girls in Love. This is for women, and I'm going to repeat that again and again and again. For women and children, for women and children. That's why 3 Girls in Love even exists. When there are only 2, it is way more likely that there will be an extended form of jealousy that happens continuously over time because, well, he's not focusing on me as much as he is on you. And then they basically battle with each other and having no mediation. Now the man can come and mediate, but it's very difficult because if he takes sides with one of them, then he's obviously not taking sides with the other one. And so there's a lot of back and forth and communication that needs to happen in order for all of this to work. However, when there's 3 women, everything becomes a lot simpler to handle. The women can work things out together. You'll always have a third party observer or an objective person if there is a tiff or a rift between the other 2. And so they can actually figure things out together and then unify the relationship even before the man even comes home. But sometimes, maybe they're all 3 fighting with each other and all have a different side of the story, and that's when the man can come in and hear each individual story inside of it and then help the women to reunite together in harmony. Just like it is very difficult for one-on-one monogamy to work, it's not impossible, but there's going to be a lot of ups and downs and a lot of issues. In the same way, 2 women in this kind of system won't work either. 3 is the magic number. In this type of relationship, when there are 4 women, the man cannot manage to build depth and fulfill emotionally every single woman, plus the kids, plus his work, plus his spiritual life, plus everything else. It simply is too much to handle. Not only that, but the women will not be able to handle there being 4 women in the household all at the same time because they're going to pair off. And then they're going to take sides again, and it's pretty much going to be as if there was only 2 because they'll be together in a group and then be upset with the other ones on the other side. That doesn't work either. There needs to be three where there's harmony, and when there's not harmony between the three, you've got the extra person, the man, the rational man, who is objective and who can listen to their stories, etc., etc. And if you begin to talk about 5, 6, 7, 8, it's absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely horrible to involve more than 3. 3 is the magic number. I'm going to repeat that again and again. And there's a reason why that is a crucial aspect of the name that we've chosen for this. The key is emotional fulfillment for all the parties. Most importantly, for the children, for the women, and also for the man. When everyone is emotionally fulfilled and feel abundance in their lives, they can radiate that abundance to everyone else around them and create a beautiful world together. The second critical aspect of the concept of 3 girls in love is the fact that women need women. Women need women more than they need men, to be honest. Men are important, but women need women. If you begin to look at what has been written or what videos have been made about how to make monogamy work, you'll begin to figure out that men are being asked to do women things in order for the relationship to work. I checked one video and it was talking about how it is critical that she needs her emotions to be heard by you. That's a female thing to do. Yes, of course the man listens, but to always have to be there and listen to a woman talk again and again and again, and then the woman not feeling as if we understood you because there needs to be an emotional connection when she talks to you. Like, men were not designed for female talk. Okay, so to ask your man to do that is going to make him feminine. Number 2 thing that they mentioned was she needs to feel supported by you, emotionally supported. That it's a nurturing thing. Again, feminine. She needs to be cared for no matter what her emotions are. She needs to be able to cry. She needs to feel joy and laughter. You see, all of those things that are being mentioned by contemporary people who are trying to make monogamy and marriage and family work are asking men to be feminine. And when the men are feminine and putting women on a pedestal and making them more important to the relationship than they are to the relationship, it creates issues. It makes the woman the most important one in the relationship because she's the one that struggles the most in marriage. Okay, always remember that. If you ever end up choosing one-on-one monogamy, you're going to be the one that has the power in the relationship, and then the man is going to try and figure things out and make things work, and there's always going to be the back and forth issues and the battles. Oh my gosh, I've been married for 10 years. I know exactly what I'm talking about. But do you understand that aspect? Is that women need to be with women and kids and femininity 80% of the time. They have an emotional need for that. And then they need the man to come home in the evenings and enjoy his presence from him having been out fighting and struggling and making things work in business in order to provide for all of this. In this concept, women are also the choosers of each other. Before they even get the man on board into such a union, into such a relationship, the women will already have chosen each other. That's a critical aspect of this principle. The men are not the ones who choose the women. The men are not the ones that go out and search for the women. Preferably, the women will already have chosen each other way in advance of finding their guy. It is way easier for women to connect and to feel that emotional connection with another woman than if a man suddenly brings another woman home and say, hey, you guys should get to know each other, and yeah, that's a very bad idea, and it's not going to work, and the woman is going to be the one that's like this while the guy's like, oh yeah, she's really the one. It doesn't work like that. The women choose each other. And trust me, women are quite shallow in general, so they're going to choose someone that's quite nice anyhow. After they've chosen their BFFs, then they together can choose their man. Preferably, this has been set up from someone who has developed a short list of potential suitors way in advance from them desiring this selection. Preferably, this would have been done by the parents of these young ladies in a system where the whole world is practicing this. However, at this time, this is the very beginning stages of this movement. It's not going to work like that. So what's going to happen in the future is that the Men of High Value channel is going to become bigger and bigger and bigger. The Girls of High Value channel is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And eventually, we're going to have stamp of approval guys that are men of high value, that check all the boxes, and then we're going to be able to present potential suitors to the 3 girls in love that have already selected each other. In addition to these women being best friends and spending the majority of their time together, it is important that they're intimate with each other so that there's always a bond and a unity and a harmony between each other. And at times, if there's something that happens that makes it so that it doesn't feel quite right in the environment and in the atmosphere, that is when intimacy between them actually reunites the entire relationship, puts them again on the same page. There's a constant and continuous goal for everyone to feel emotionally fulfilled at all times, and for everyone to feel that there's a complete and full equality and absolutely no competition whatsoever in the relationship. There's probably going to be some of you who say, there's going to be a lot of jealousy going on in this type of relationship. And I'm like, not so much as you think. The reason why is because if you take best friends plus abundance, it will equal no jealousy. Or in other words, unity. If there is abundance, if women have a plethora of abundance, okay? If they feel emotionally fulfilled, they have no problems sharing a man. They have no problems sharing food. They have no problem sharing clothes. They have no problem sharing kids because there's abundance and they're best friends. The only time that jealousy can creep in and begin to create a wedge in the relationship is if there ceases to be abundance. Now, who is the one responsible for abundance in 3 Girls in Love? The man. If he does not provide abundance in everything, he will have failed. It is his duty, his responsibility, his obligation to create abundance for everyone in the home. He's responsible, and you as a woman should hold him accountable to that responsibility. Some examples are obviously money, food, clothing, shelter, all of those basic needs that are necessary, but also that he practices ejaculation control so that he is not a premature ejaculator, which means that within 2 minutes he's done and then basically it's over and he has to have a refractory period where he has to produce more sperm in order for him to... Do you understand what I mean? If he doesn't last long in bed and learns sexual kung fu and the arts of the bedroom, there's gonna be problems. And that is one of the reasons why women believe that there's going to be too much jealousy, too much catfighting, and a lot of issues because of that. The only reason is because there's no abundance. But for a man to learn these things and develop confidence in the bedroom and his ability to last as long as he desires and as long as the women desire, it's not a problem anymore. And that is how we eradicate jealousy from the program. The man has full responsibility to take care of those things. He must have multiple businesses, one source of income. In case that one dries out, it creates a huge strain on the family and should not be the case. Before he even enters into such a relationship or such a family union, it is critical that he has set up a strong financial foundation and that he sparingly spends that money and grows it exponentially over time, even as he has this family going on. 80% of the time, he should be gone, away from the household, building his business. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. And it's also important that he never ever retires from building businesses. He's also fully responsible for the protection of his women and his children. It's his responsibility, and if he wants to live this kind of lifestyle and be heavily rewarded for it, he better perform at his optimal level. Way before he even starts the relationship in this family and during the entirety of that relationship. The man must take the blame and the responsibility for everything that happens in the environment, in the home. It is his fault. If the women begin to fight with each other, even though it's their fault, it is the man's fault. Because that fosters unity among the women. If they begin to blame each other and compete with each other, we're going to have some problems. But if they all begin to understand that the only reason why we're fighting right now is because there's a lack of abundance. If there was abundance, we wouldn't be fighting. So who is the one responsible for the lack of abundance? I wonder. Yeah, oh, that's right. It's our man. And then they all together blame him and make sure that he steps up his game before he is rewarded again for his services. You don't want to be in a home where women blame each other. If they collectively blame the man, however, things can work out absolutely beautiful. And lastly, in order for this kind of family system to work, it is important that women return to their feminine selves and return to traditional feminine roles again. However, this time around, it's not them who have to do the cooking and cleaning and taking care of the home and taking care of kids and the snot and the diapers and all those things that are not that fun to do alone. If you're three, however, to cover all of the needs of the kids, all of the needs of the home, and the needs of each other, and the needs of the man, suddenly it is not that hard or difficult anymore. Suddenly, instead of coming from the space of, I'm not enough, and I'm not a superwoman, and I never measure up, suddenly it comes from the emotion of, I'm excited to wake up and contribute and do my part in this amazing, beautiful family that we've created together. I want every single individual in my family to be happy, and I have a role to play in that, and I'm excited to do it because I'm going to be able to do it with my best friends. And we're going to raise each other's children, and we're going to love each other, and we're going to love our man, we're going to love our kids, and make sure that they have an absolute abundance in their childhood. Because when kids have an abundance in their childhood, they're going to grow up feeling blessed, feeling grateful, feeling excited about the future, feeling excited about creating families of their own, feeling excited about tackling the problems of the world. That's the kind of generation of kids that we desire. And to be honest, it's amazing how we've managed to come to this point in time without this family structure. This is going to revolutionize everything in helping kids to be kids when they're growing up, and then allowing them to choose their own life as they grow up and be fired up about their lives. Remember who we are doing this for. It is for the women and for the children. The man is the one who's responsible, and he will get his reward. However, we want to make sure that women become emotionally fulfilled, because when women are emotionally fulfilled, the entire earth becomes emotionally fulfilled, and we end all of the world's problems. This is the Girls of High Value channel. Hope you like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.